So I want to say thank you for you guys getting on and taking the time out of your day. And we always start the beginning of our calls welcoming our new ambassadors that joined just this past week. And those people are Kelly, Ashley, Michelle, Catherine, and Ron Williams, which I'm super excited about having a guy on our team who really wants to work the business. So I'm excited about that. And then I had a customer join today who is Sherry Cotton. So congratulations on you guys taking the next step in your journey. And I want to congratulate the people who sponsored those. And that is Debbie, Laura, Aaron, Mitch, and Cheryl. Congratulations on building your team. And I also want to congratulate Patricia Terry. She joined on the 28th of last month, and she already has 1,284 PV. So she's not even been with Plexus a month, and she has outrageous PV. So congratulations to her. So obviously, our guest is Kristi White. So we're all super excited to hear what she has to share. And all of you, well, most of you know that she is a Sapphire ambassador, and she is our upline. But I'm excited to hear her story. And so Kristi, go ahead and take it away and tell us a little bit about your journey and what you want to share with us.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me on tonight. I'm noticing a lot of names on there, people that I know already and may already know my story. But for those of you who don't, I joined Plexus almost the very last day of December 2013. So that's almost, 2 years and 3 months ago. When I joined, my husband and I owned a cafe here in our hometown called Lakey, Texas. It was called Ella Pearls. And it was a cafe, never made any money. We actually had to sell basically everything we owned to keep the doors open, keep the electric on, that type of thing. So when we shut the doors on December 24th of 2013, both my husband and I were kind of freaked out about how we were going to earn an income. I was already involved with 3 other direct sales companies at the time. I honestly saw the potential in it. My mother-in-law was the very first Mary Kay consultant, Daleen White, in the company. She started Mary Kay with Mary Kay Ash. That was her best friend. So I knew that there was potential in direct sales. Unfortunately, at that time, I was spending more money than I was ever making. And so I was looking into food stamps on December 27th. And that was a really low point for me, kind of embarrassing, and I didn't really want to go there, but felt with having 3 children that I had to at least look into the possibility of it. Very next day, I posted I was very sneaky, and I posted on a work from home page saying that I was looking for a new business. Well, I really wasn't. I was looking to network, and I was going to get these people who reached out to me to look at my other 3 businesses that I thought I could get them to join. Lo and behold, Tamara Holloway reached out to me and said, "Have you ever heard of Plexus?" Well, I actually rolled my eyes, said I was not interested in a vitamin company. I was already with 3 other companies at the time, and I was tired of the home parties and the monthly fees and everything else that we all had that experience with. And she explained to me why Plexus was different. Well, I didn't have very much money in my account, so I joined for just the $34.95. It left 17 cents in my bank account. I actually went back and verified that because I remembered it was drained my account of everything. And I did not tell my husband that I joined Plexus. I just started posting and working my business, and I started by posting about the products. Obviously, I didn't have the products. I didn't have my own experience, but I started sharing more with people about the business opportunity versus the products because I didn't really know what the heck I was talking about at that time. So I was pretty strong why. I had a very strong why. Living in a town of 425 people, you can imagine there's not a lot of potential for jobs out there. And I didn't know of any of the 4 restaurants that we had hiring waitresses at the time. So I had to make it work. I had to make one of these businesses work. Well, I posted about Plexus, and I had one person say, I heard about that. And they became my first ambassador that very first day. And I went, wow, that never happened with, these other companies that I was with. So I decided probably 2 weeks in that I was going to solely work plexus because I've always been taught you can't ride two horses at once. So I started really pushing plexus. My very first month, I got enough money to go buy 2 full carts of groceries, and enough to also buy all of my plexus products. I was blown away. By month 4, I replaced full-time income, and by month 11, I went Emerald, which, as you know, according to the company, the average is $111,000 a year as an Emerald ambassador, plus a Lexus and a trip to Hawaii. 6 months later, I went Sapphire, and I'm hoping to go Diamond this month, so we'll see. But what I want to share with you is a little bit about, first of all, I feel that if I can do it, anybody can do it, because I live in such a small town. I'm total homebody. I mean, literally, I think I put makeup on like twice a month if I go out. But I am a homebody, and I did everything online. I reached out to people. What I find is that a lot of times people are posting on Facebook. There's a few mistakes that people make. The first one is that they're only posting about plexus. Boring, boring, boring. Your friends are not going to pay attention to what you post if everything's about plexus. So if you've ever looked at my page, you'll notice that sometimes I post goofy things. Other times I post personal things. And my husband always says, why are you sharing that on Facebook? I'm like, honey, it's because of the business. I have to get people involved on my page. Today, my husband put together a 4-tier cat condominium, and all 4 cats were in it. And of course, I took a picture and I posted it. Well, it got a lot of likes. So, but the key to that is the people that liked it are now going to see my next plexus post. So that's what you want to do, is keep your page interesting. When you do post about plexus, keep it as personal as you can. Now, we're having some compliance, I'm not going to say issues, because it's not issues. It's has to do with the FDA targets all nutraceutical companies, all companies that make vitamins. Vitamins are not controlled by the FDA. They can't get a patent on vitamin C. So they keep a really close eye on vitamin companies if people make claims. And I'm not talking Plexus, I'm talking every vitamin company out there. They keep a close eye if people are making claims like, such and such cured my fibromyalgia, or such and such cured my plantar fasciitis, or, whatever it might be, because you are making a claim as a cure. So now, the thing is that I've seen a lot of people that start Plexus and see huge differences in their health when it comes to all different types of ailments. So I'm going to give you a tip on how to get around this. Next time you want to post an amazing testimony, whether it comes to a medication you're off of, or an ailment you are no longer experiencing, don't even put plexus in there. People are going to know that it's plexus that you're taking, but you can get around that by actually saying, oh my gosh, my doctor just took me off of XYZ. I can't believe it. It's been 3 months since I started a new routine. Please PM me if you'd like more information. You see, I was able to actually say what I wanted to say about plexus, but I didn't combine the post with plexus, therefore not making it alerted to any claims. We have a new head of, what do you call it? Not compliance. Well, he's compliance, but I'm talking to my husband, I'm sorry. Wow. He's a lawyer. Oh, there you go. He's a lawyer, and
all compliance is lawyers.
Yeah, he's a new lawyer that was hired, and so he's worked with other companies out there that deal with vitamin companies, FDA issues, that type of thing. So he came in and he said, oh my gosh, you have ambassadors that are having amazing results, but they're making claims that legally cannot be said. So that's all that's going on, is that we have to be careful how we phrase things. Like, for instance, I can say that, you guys know that plexus, actually, I no longer have plantar fasciitis. But guess what? I'm going to say I no longer have that horrible foot discomfort. I didn't say, do you know what foot discomfort is? You're going to know, right? That it's plantar fasciitis. So you just have to be creative so they can't, it's illegal mumbo jumbo. Well, enough about that. Let's go back to talking about posting. So if you're posting properly on Facebook, meaning you're getting people liking your posts, they're interested in what you're saying, the next thing that you need to do is you'll have plenty of people that watch. And believe me, after 2 years of doing this, I still have people that reach out to me after 2 years and say, oh my gosh, I've been watching you for 2 years. I don't know why I didn't jump on board. I'm finally ready. So people are watching you. But what I'm going to say to you is that you also need to reach out. This is the key. This is why I grew so fast, was I didn't just post and wait for people to come to me. I actively, and I'm talking about, I was laying in bed. See, there's my husband. Hi. I laid in bed and I actively worked my business. What I did was I would look down at that little box on Facebook of who was on chat, who was, the little light was green. And I'd go to their page if I didn't know them that well, and I'd kind of stalk them a little bit. And I'd find out, what's going on in their life. Did they just lose a job, or do they have some sort of ailment, or what are they talking about? And I would reach out to them in a private PM. And I always would make it about, I need their help. I need their opinion. And how I do that, I posted this on Pink Diamonds today, exactly my script that I use when I reach out to people. I normally say, hi, Amanda, we really haven't talked very much. We've been friends on Facebook for 6 months. I've been wanting to reach out to you for a while, but I've been chicken. I really admire what a great stay-at-home mom you are. I'm sure that that's the most important job you've ever done, but I'd really value your opinion. Have you ever done direct sales before? And, I might throw in there, I just recently became involved with a company called Plexus. It's a health and wellness company, and I'd really value your opinion. And I'd wait to hear back from her. And if I didn't hear back from her, I'd write back again and I'd say, have you ever been with direct sales company before? And if she said, yes, I did so-and-so, and I still have 52,000 things in my garage, and my husband would kill me if I got involved in another one. So I'll say, okay, well, what did you like about it? And she might say, well, I made some good friends. I like the products. And I'd say, what did you not like about it? And she's going to tell me what we all hear. I didn't like the fact that I had to do home parties. I ran out of people. Felt like I was bugging people. I made no money. I spent way more than I made. I had to carry a lot of inventory. All these different things, website fees. You're going to hear a lot of different things. But whatever she's listing off at that moment is exactly the reason why she would say no to Plexus, because that's her one experience with direct sales. And not having experience with another company, or having the same experience with 3 and then hearing about Plexus, they're all going to be lumped together. So you want to listen to the person's fears. You want to listen to what they're frustrated about. And then what I do is I use the feel, felt, found method. And I'll say, you know what? I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way. I've done 6 other direct sales companies before, and I spent way more than I made. But this is what I found. Plexus cost me $34.95 to join. There's no home parties. There's no inventory. People buy directly from my website and return directly to the company. 60-day money back guarantee. $34.95 to start. And then I'll say, how much money would it be that you'd like to make in a month from home? What would be your goal? And most people, believe it or not, are going to say between $200 and $500, because I recently read a study about how $200 to $500 can keep a lot of families out of filing for bankruptcy a month. And a lot of people will say that, and that's when I send them that ambassador comparison chart of what everybody makes, that Plexus put out, the yearly one. I send that to them and I break it down. So if they said, $200 a month, I'm going to say, well, that level, that's a silver ambassador. And you could easily do that in your first or second month. If someone says to me, I want to make $8,000 a month, I'll say, well, that's an emerald ambassador. And, you potentially could do that in a year. The average, according to Plexus, I love that I had a Freudian slip and called Plexus family. But the average is 11 months according to Plexus. So some people take 2 years, some people take 3 years. It doesn't really matter as long as you get there. But the last thing I want to touch on, because I have to get going in about 7 minutes, I have a phone call with, my son goes to boarding school, so we have a call with his school at 9 p.m. But anyways, the next thing that I want to touch on is that you need to follow up. That is the key. Most people, and believe it or not, this is 9 times out of 10 why I see people not succeeding. They're not following up, or they're not following up properly. The first 4 times you speak with someone, the chances of them saying, yes, I'm interested, is almost 0. I mean, let that sink in. The first 4 times, almost 0. When you go to the 5th to 7th time of speaking to somebody, your chances of success go up to 80%. So what I want you to do is go back through your Facebook messages, see who you talk to. I mean, you could go back a year, you go back 6 months, 2 months, whatever it is. Get an ongoing list. You can retouch upon what you spoke about. Danielle Gates, I signed her up about maybe a month and a half after I joined. We talked 15 times before she joined. And the reason why she didn't want to join was because she was with another company. She had a ton of inventory. She wasn't making money. She was doing it, I think, for like 5 years. And we had to talk like 15 times. I got Tamara on the phone. Tamara spoke with her. I sent her a sample. We set appointments. She lives in Wisconsin and I live in Texas, so everything had to be done online. But I would keep the conversation going by when she said I have to take my son to school, I'd say, would you mind if I reached out to you in a few days? I'm going to send you a video. Can we chat on Wednesday? What time works for you? Not can we talk? What time works for you? And she'd say, oh, all right, yeah, 3 o'clock works good. And we would talk again. Now, when I talk to people in a follow-up, I ask them questions. What are your health goals? I want to find out exactly what's going on with them health-wise, because I want to be able to go on to Plexus Journeys on Facebook and find testimonies that fit their needs. Whether it's arthritis or diabetes or weight loss, whatever it is, you can go on Plexus Journeys. And if you're not on there, ask Amanda to add you. And you can search, and I would send them a testimony. I ask a lot of questions. I get to know about them, what's going on in their life. I might reach out a week later and say, how did your son's baseball game go? And they're shocked that I remembered that. When you develop those relationships, you'll find you have so much more success. The last thing that I want to talk about follow-up is that you don't want to throw up Plexus on people. And what I mean by that is that we get so excited about our own results that when someone asks us a question, we're like, oh my gosh, I have to tell you everything. Well, people don't want to know everything. They want to know if it's going to work for them, how much it costs, that type of thing. Are they going to be successful? So what I do when someone asks me questions, I will keep it short and simple. I never answer more than 3 to 5 sentences at one time. And if someone asks me a hard question, especially when I first started and I didn't know the answer, like explain compensation, they really don't want to know what compensation, how it works. What they want to know is, am I going to make any money? So what I normally do is when someone asks me about compensation, I would go to YouTube and I would look up Plexus compensation, do a search, and I'd find a good one that's under 10 minutes. And I would educate myself because I would send it to them. And then I'd go back and watch it myself so I could learn. And then as soon as I was done, I'd give them another minute and I'd say, what questions do you have? Not, you want to ask open-ended, so they have to type back a sentence. If you send out a sample, how did you like the taste? Instead of, did you get the sample? Boring, yes or no. You just have to keep the conversation. And then as far as closing, really, when people say, okay, I'm ready, this is what you do. You go, okay, here's my website. I'm going to stay right here on Facebook, or we can get together on the phone. I can walk you through the process, and this is how it's going to work. And I will tell them, go to my page, click on join, and follow the instructions. This is the cheapest way to get your products, but you do have 60 days from the time you join to go ahead and get a welcome pack if you need to wait. because I had to wait. But then I will say, I'm going to wait right here on this PM for when you have questions. Please ask me any questions you may have. I try to get on the phone with people because I'll go through it like on my own computer as they are doing it. But if they don't want to get on the phone, then I go ahead and I just sit there and wait, and I'll ask them, how's it going? Did you pick a website yet? That type of thing. So that's basically when people say that they're ready, I think I want to do this. Make sure you explain auto ship. I'm not going to go over that. That might be a really good topic, Amanda, for another time. Make sure you explain auto ship. If they get to that page and they don't know that this is an optional thing that they can get out of at any time, they're never going to come back to you. That's a key to closing. And then go ahead and say, I'm going to wait right here for you. As soon as you have your ID number, let me know so I can get you started and add you to my team page. And that's basically it. You really have to be consistent every day, whether it's 30 minutes or 3 hours or whatever you want to do. You have to schedule time every single day, not once a week. If you work it like a hobby, you'll get paid like a hobby. If you work it like a business, you'll get paid like a business. So I hope you guys have a great night. I do have to get going because I'm waiting for my son to call his DI to call. He goes to Marine Military Academy. So I hope you all have a great night, and you're welcome to PM me anytime on Facebook, but I am going to leave the meeting. I wish I could stay a little longer, but my husband scheduled it.
Well, thank you for being on. I really appreciate it. And
Thank you.
that everyone enjoyed it too. So
thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you.
Have fun talking to your son.
Thanks.
Bye. So does anyone, I don't know if you guys are ready to go too, but we have like a couple minutes in it, so I didn't know if anybody had any questions. Obviously, I'm not Kristi, but if there's maybe a question that I could answer for anyone, I'm willing to do that. But like I said, we only have a few more minutes left, but just wanted to open that up just in case anyone had any questions. If not, then I guess we will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for getting on. I hope you guys enjoyed Kristi. I know I did, but I hope you guys have a good night. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.